All right, it's Coach Mars here. We're going to talk about the 4-2 defense. Okay, so this is a 4-2-5. We call it 31. I'll explain that. And then this is a cover three. All right, and we'll talk about our alignments, why we run it, and some of the idea behind how to play defense in this look. All right, so a couple things to talk about. Okay, if so we like to run this defense against the tight end. Okay, and the reason we like to run a 4-2-5 against the tight end is because you kind of need that fourth down lineman to cover up this tight end. Okay, and so what we do is we're going to align. Let's talk about the strength first. So we'll talk about to this tight end. Okay, to the tight end side, we're going to put our star. Okay, in a 6-eye. All right, so he's inside shade of the tight end. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is wherever they're shaded, that's the gap that they're responsible for. Okay, our tackle, who's also on the strong side. Okay, and if you're new to football or your youth coach, you're typically going to call your strength to the tight end side. So this would be the strength over here to the left. Okay, our star always goes to the strength, and our fox always goes to the strength. Okay. Our Mike goes to the strength and our Will goes away from the strength. All right. So let's start over here. The star is in a 6-eye. Our tackle is in a 3-tech, which is an outside shade of the guard. Our nose, okay, is going to be in a 1-tech. All right. Our nose is going to be in a 1-tech, and our end here, our weekend, is in a 5-tech. Okay, we're going to typically align our Mike and our Will about 4 yards off the ball. They're pretty much going to align over the guards. Okay, let's talk about the outside linebackers. All right, our Fox, since he goes to the strength, is going to play outside of this tight end. Okay, we have him typically about 3 yards off the ball and about 3 yards off the last man on the line of scrimmage. Okay. Our bear is going to walk out over number two. Okay. He's always going to be to the weak side. Okay. He's going to walk out over number two. Okay. And the reason we use the bear to the weak side is because this is more of a cover man. Okay. This is more of a pass coverage defender. And our fox is more of a run defender. Okay. Coverage wise, in this particular case, we are in a cover three look. Okay, meaning our corner is going to have this third, okay, from the sideline to the hash. Our free safety is going to have the middle third from hash to hash, and our corner would have deep third from this sideline to this hash. Okay, pretty simple. This is gonna, for a lot of you, if you're a youth coach, this is like a typical 4-4 defense. Okay, um, the Fox would then have flats. Okay. We try to keep him under 7 yards. Okay. So 7 yards from here to all the way to the sideline. All right. And same with the bear. He's going to have basically the flats from the hash to the sideline at about a 7 yard depth. Okay. Now, if this kid happens to be flanked out here, okay, notice this puts us in a 2-by-2 in the offense in a 2-by-2 set, and we would walk the fox out here. Very simple, okay. And this is the main reason why this is called a 4-2-5, okay, because you have 4 down linemen, you have 2 linebackers, and you have 5 defensive backs. Okay, the only adjustment really is the star is going to slide into a 5-tech. Okay. Um, let's put this tight end back here. And we'll slide our star back out. Okay. Now, the gap, I talked about this earlier, the gap that they are aligned to is the gap that they are responsible for. Okay. And I'll just kind of show you how to move these guys. So the star is responsible for C gap. Okay. The tackle, he's shaded here, is responsible for B gap. Our nose is in a 1-tech, okay, meaning he's shaded on the center. He would be responsible for this A gap. Okay, and the end is in a 5 tech. He's an outside shade, so he is responsible for uh, this gap, which is the C gap. Okay, he is a contain player. All right. They always work together, so the Mike and the tackle are going to work together. So since the tackle's taking the B gap, our Mike is responsible for this A gap. Okay, remember he's not blitzing or anything, but he's responsible for that gap. Okay, since the nose is responsible for the A gap, the will works with him, and the end. Okay, since the end is C gap, that means the will is responsible for this gap. So you can see this is a very gap sound defense. Okay. We want to make sure that they understand their gaps where they're aligned. Okay. The bear is going to get hands on this kid and he wants to keep his outside leverage here. All right. If he took inside leverage, we would then have the end and the bear in the same gap. We don't want that. Since the end has C gap, we want the bear out here in what we call the D gap. Okay. Same thing with the corner. If the bear's here, okay, we wouldn't want our corner here. We want our corner to take outside of this receiver. Okay. We've got to make sure that you only have one guy in each gap. Okay. That makes you gap sound. All right. Make sure you like this video. I'll have another video about the 4-2-5 defense. I'm going to talk a little bit about the run fits and how we flow to the ball and pursue to the ball. Okay, but make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Comment with any questions. Thanks for listening.